Good morning. It is still morning. Yeah, perfectly. Still morning. 10:15. No, we're not just up. Well, we're just out of bed anyway, but we're not just up. I've been awake since 7:30.
Oh, I've been awake since about 1 o'clock this morning. I couldn't sleep. I got a bit of dozing, but I've been watching my iPad until my earphones. So I just got screensaver just came on, I'm telling you. Yeah, we're watching stuff on my iPad until my earphones recharging, so I just couldn't sleep at all last night. Consequently, I'm absolutely drained.
I, on the other hand, slept very well because Alan didn't. So this morning we have watched some stuff on BBC iPlayer. We watched a documentary called Insiders, where Reggie Yates went into one of the prisons in Texas and stayed there for a week. And that was quite interesting. And then we started watching a documentary with Dr. Michael Mosley about Porterdown, the military chemical weapons research facility down in England somewhere. But then the internet decided it wasn't going to play nice and we missed the last 10 minutes. So we've come downstairs, I've just put some coffee on and we're about to start
American Horror Story, the one we was going to start last night, but didn't, due to the fact that, one, I couldn't remember which one was the first series, because I've got all the series and I struggled, so I needed help from Michelle. Thank you. How about the camera? I needed help from Michelle to show me which one to play. And then when we went upstairs, we just started watching YouTube, and that were at. Fell asleep through Mock the Week. This is another good programme that we watch. Mock the Week, BBC's Mock the Week. It's very good. Anyway, Michelle is sticking on series 1 of American Horror Story. Coffee. Start the relaxing weekend. Like I said, we're not going anywhere this weekend due to the fact the car's not well. We need to get that fixed next week. Don't want to put any miles on it. It's drivable, but I don't want to put any more miles on it than we have to, just in case. Anyway, moving forward. Speak to you shortly. We're up to number 7 on American Horror Story in the first episode, first series. Michelle is obviously getting bored because she's now colouring in things. No, you enjoying it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to carry on watching for a bit because, you know, it's raining out. Speak to you shortly. So.
Do I have to sound like a teapot now that we're doing Alan's YouTube cliches?
So. I never stand like that. Don't know where she gets it from. Anyway, we've just finished watching season 1 of American Horror Story. And now that's the second time I've tried to watch that series. I got to within about 4 programmes of the end. So Michelle's watched it all, excuse me, Michelle's watched it all the way through for the very first time, and I watched some of it for the second time and the ending for the first time. Now, I really highly recommend that programme to anybody who'd listen. Your take?
It made me put my book down.
And there you go, an excuse why we're not going to get a
No,
book review.
no. It made me put my book down. Alan watches a lot of television. Whereas I don't tend to watch too much of it. It's usually on the background. I'm usually sort of half watching it, half reading. This actually made me put my book down for 9.5 hours to watch it all. It was really good. I obviously didn't give it a fair go the first time we tried to watch it. And we've got, so that was Murder House that we watched today, season 1. And then we've got Asylum, which is season 2. Coven, which is season 3, and Freak Show, which I ordered off Amazon, which is actually still in its packaging, in the plastic packaging that they wrap them in. I pre-ordered that and got that last year, or the year before possibly. So we've got seasons 2, 3 and 4 to watch still. And I'm a bit confused, if I'm honest, because it looks like a different story, but it's the same actors. So is it a different story with the same actors, or is it a continuation of the theme? I'm pretty sure by this point, if anybody hasn't seen American Horror Story, it's one of these things, because if you haven't seen it, it's been out for a long time. Season 1.
2011 season 1.
So 5 years. It's been out for 5 years. So after 5 years, is it really considered spoiler? But if it's not, then spoiler alert. You might want to move forward, and I'll get Alan to put a thing in saying spoiler alert, and then end of spoiler alert, so you can just mute it or something. I don't know. But do we find out what happens to the child, the Antichrist child that murdered the nanny right at the end? Does the Antichrist child go on to season 2?
Say that, she even raps.
I don't rap. The only thing I rap is sandwiches.
Butties.
It's the same thing.
Alan fell.
So yeah, so do we find this out? Does it go forward, or is that the end, and are we supposed to sort of be creeped out by the fact that there's a child, the Antichrist, running around somewhere? So end of spoiler alert for Alan, so he can put up an end of spoiler alert thing. So yeah, excellent. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Wish I'd given it more of a go the first time around when Alan was sort of watching it rather than me half watching it, half reading like I normally do. I should probably pay more attention when he's watching television.
So out you get 5 Carling range. So how many Carlings out of 5 was that?
I'd say it was a 4. I wouldn't want to watch it a second time, if I'm honest, because I've seen it now. And as far as I'm concerned at this point, I'm good. You know, I've seen it, I know the story, I can sort of go, yeah, I've seen American Horror Story Murder House. But I wouldn't want to watch it a second time round. There's no mystery to it now. I know how it ends. So yeah, there are TV series that I watch again and again and again, but that's not one of them.
Okay, now for me, I would give it 4.5 Carlings out of 5. I thought it was brilliant. I highly recommend it. The only reason I wouldn't give it 5 was I think the ending was a little bit weak. I think the build-up was absolutely fantastic. The tension was great. They kept it moving, considering how many programs were there?
12.
12 programs. It's like 9 hours worth of TV. They kept it going, but kind of just lost it a little bit at the end. And like you say, the deliberate cliffhanger, where we had to carry on. Hence the spoilers from Chelle. Anyway, that is what we've been doing. Yeah, and I can see now that Michelle has just put another film on, so we're going to have another film to review, and that looks like A Walk in the Wild. Is that what you put on?
It's just Wild. It's called.
Oh,
it's based in a book that I read. I read the book that the film is based on. I want to say last year, might have been the year before.
I think it was the year before.
And it's an incredible book. It was poignant. It was actually Alan was actually laughing earlier. I was on Pinterest and I found a pin, one of these e-cards that was just like the most perfect thing ever. It said, "This book ripped out my heart, tore it into pieces, and stomped on it on the ground while I wept tears of pure anguish." And then the person just turns around and goes, "Here, read it," because that's me. This book tore at my soul, but you have to read it. And it was one of these books. It really struck a chord with me. And I highly recommend it. It's by a woman called Cheryl Strayed, Strayaed. I think she changed her name at some point. I don't think that was the last name of her parents, for example. But it is. It's a non-fiction book. It's like a memoir. Because
It's about somebody walking the Appalachian Trail.
yeah, but it's more about her story and her journey. And the film is based on the book, and the film has Reese Witherspoon in it. So I bought the film after I read the book. I meant to go and see it at the cinema, and we didn't. So I thought I'd dig it out, because I don't think I have it in me to start season 2 tonight.
Okay, going to make a cup of tea or get some liquid refreshment now, and watch this film, which shall let you know what it is later. Speak to you shortly. Hi there guys, we've just finished watching that film Chelle put on called Wild, starring and produced by Reese Witherspoon, which is based on the book that Michelle was talking about. Now I quite enjoyed that. I really did enjoy it actually. One thing that I really enjoyed about that film was the soundtrack. We'll have to try and get hold of that, because I liked all the music on that. Now I'm, unlike Michelle, I'm more of the visual arts. I like watching films more than I like reading books. But that one film there, I will say, has got to be better reading the book, because I think there's only so much detail that you can put in filming somebody walking up a trail for 1,100 miles. So if you like the film, I think the book might be slightly better. But yeah, I would recommend that. My numbers, actually, I've also been drinking some beer, so proper job. So yeah, quite powerful as well, 5.5%. So I'm feeling a little bit tipsy, but yeah, my marks out of 5 for that. I would give that a 3.5. Definitely worth a watch. Definitely worth a watch. It's a feel-good thing, without actually coming to any conclusions. Sorry, about feeling good. She never walked off the, spoiler alert. She didn't get to the end of the film and put a Hollywood finish in it. That's where I enjoyed that bit. Anyway, Michelle's gonna now tell you what it was like compared to the book and fill the bits in.
I liked the book. I think we before we started watching the film, I explained that the book cut a hole in me. The film, not so much. The film was good, don't get me wrong, the film was good, but the book was better. The book was a lot better. But I wanted to share the story that I'd read with Alan, and that was the easiest way to do it, rather than waiting 4 years for him to finish reading a book.
4 years?
When was the last time you finished a book?
You know me well.
I know. So yeah. But no, the film was good, but the book is better, I must admit.
So how many calories out of 5? If we're not keeping you up.
I'd go with you, 3.5.
Yeah. Definitely worth a watch, and I'm really pleased that they didn't throw Hollywood at it. Say, starring and produced by Reese Witherspoon. I've forgotten who directed it, but it doesn't really matter, because you can always look it up on Internet Movie Database if you're interested. But yeah, I'll give it a watch. Definitely give it a watch on a rainy afternoon. We've stayed up rather late for us, because it's like nearly 10:30, which makes us sound so rock and roll. Michelle's either extremely tired or she thinks she's going into work. But with that said, I'm starting to waffle. I can feel myself. It's the beer, so I better call it. So it's a good night from me.
And it's a good night from him.
Good night. Speak to you all tomorrow.